70 to 125 degree, pathogens grow the quickest. 165 degrees, meat, seafood, poultry, eggs in microwave. 165 degrees, reheat for hot holding. 135 to 70 within 2 hours. 70 to 41 within 4 hours. Two-step cooling method. Total cooling time is 6 hours. 10 to 15 seconds total hand washing scrub time. 20 seconds total hand washing time process. FIFO, which is FIFO, first in, first out storage. Plus or negative 2 degrees, thermometer temps must be accurate. 41 degrees or below, cold food holding and storage receiving. 90 days, shellfish identification tags. 90 days from date, last shellfish were used from delivery container. 135 degrees or above, hot food holding. 6 inches, keep products off the floor and away from wall. 85 degrees, wash water temperature in hand washing sink. 110 degrees, wash water temperature in 3 compartment sink. 50 to 70 degrees, dry storage room temperature. Minimal internal cooking temperature. Minimal temperature established to kill common microorganisms associated with particular food products. Whole cuts of seafood, 145, 15 seconds. Whole cuts of pork, beef, lamb, eggs for immediate service, 145 degrees for 15 seconds. Ground beef, ground pork, ground fish, eggs on a buffet, 155 degrees for 17 seconds. Whole or ground poultry or anything stuffed, 165 degrees, 1 second instantaneous. Microwave, meat, poultry, eggs, 165, 15 seconds. 6 hours, cold food without temperature control. 4 hours, hot food without temperature control. 2 hours, check food temps, lead time for corrective action. 180 degrees, high temp machines, final sanitizing rinse. 12.5 to 25 ppm iodine concentration for sanitizing. Contact time is 30 seconds. 50 to 99 ppm chlorine concentration for sanitizing. Contact time 7 seconds. Foodborne illness, any infection or illness that is transferred to people by food that they eat. Microorganism, tiny organism too small to be seen with the naked eye. Pathogen, microorganisms that can cause disease. High risk population, elderly people, preschool age children, people with compromised immune systems. Outbreak, 2 or more cases of a similar illness from a common food. Ready to eat food, foods that require no further preparation prior to eating. Cross-contamination, when a food item is exposed to contamination from another source. Critical control points, a point during the cooking or processing of food where steps are taken to eliminate or reduce a food safety hazard. Flow of food, the path that takes through a food establishment from purchasing, receiving, to storage, preparation, cooking, holding, cooling, reheating, and service. HACCP helps protect the flow of food, often using time and temperatures. Potentially hazardous foods, foods that will support the growth of microorganisms, TCS foods. Characteristics of potential hazardous foods: moist, high protein, slightly acidic. Things to remember: HACCP, Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point, a food safety system that helps us determine risks and controls these risks. The goal of HACCP is to produce safe food. Fix problems with your health inspector on the spot if possible. When employees go to the restroom, they must wash their hands. They must rewash their hands in the kitchen. Turn water off with paper towel. Never dry hands with a common towel or dry hands on apron. Contamination, the presence of a harmful substance. 3 types of hazards: physical hazard, a foreign object in food; chemical hazard, a chemical or toxin that can contaminate food; Biological hazard, any living organism or waste of living organism that may contaminate food. Foodborne intoxication, an illness caused by eating food containing a chemical hazard or toxin. Foodborne infection, an illness caused by eating food containing live pathogenic organism. pH, a measure of the acidity or alkalinity of a substance. pH range 4.6 to 7.5, where bacteria will grow on slightly acidic foods. Fat tone, the 6 factors that affect bacterial growth. Food, potentially hazardous foods. Acid, slightly acidic or neutral. Time, 4 hours or more. Temp, 41 degrees to 135 degrees. Oxygen, some bacteria require oxygen. Moisture, the measure of free moisture in food water activity. Biological hazards. Specifically, microorganisms are the most common food contaminants. Because of this, microorganisms are considered the greatest threat to food safety. The 4 types are bacteria, virus, parasite, and fungi. Time and temperature are your most critical factors in controlling the growth of the microorganism. Viruses don't multiply in food they use as their transfer mechanism. The best way to control a virus is good personal hygiene. Wash your hands. Hand washing sink must provide water of 85 degrees. Hand sink must have hot and cold water. Soap, acceptable method for drying hands, and a trash can made of plastic if paper towels are used. Must post sign to wash hand in all restrooms. The steps for your 3-compartment sink are wash drain boards, scrape and soak wash, rinse, sanitize, and air dry. Food allergy, when the immune system reacts badly to a protein ingredient in food. The 9 most common food allergies: milk and milk products, eggs, fish, soy, tofu, shellfish, peanuts, tree nuts, wheat proteins, and sesame. Symptoms of an allergic reaction: hives, rash, difficulty breathing, swelling of lips and throat, tongue, mouth, diarrhea, loss of consciousness, drop of blood pressure, abdominal pain, and cramps. Due to allergies, you must know all ingredients of all foods you serve. If you are not sure, tell the customer you do not know and suggest a different item. Must have someone on each shift who knows ingredients. Personal hygiene, an individual's general state of health and hygienic practices and habits. Carrier, someone who has the pathogenic microorganism in his or her system or on his or her person but does not show signs of disease. Hepatitis A and norovirus typically occur through fecal oral routes, not destroyed by normal cooking temps. That is why you must use good personal hygiene. Jaundice, a common symptom of liver disease such as hepatitis A, where the skin and eyes appear yellow. Things to remember: the only jewelry you can wear is single band ring. You must wear hair restraint while prepping or serving food, like a hairnet or a clean hat. Jewelry can harbor bacteria or fallen food and be a physical hazard. Open cut or sore, clean it, bandage, and glove or finger cot. Check all sanitizer with a test kit using strips. Keep fingernails short and clean. They harbor bacteria. All cleaning cloths must be in sanitizer solution when not in use. 3 types of thermometers commonly used in operations: bimetallic stem thermometer, thermocouples, thermistors, infrared and surface probe, measure temps on flat surfaces like grills. 6 ways to cool foods. Separate foods into several pans, place in walk-in, place in an ice bath, cool in one, ice paddle, fill with water, place in freezer, then submerge in product, stirring with handle till temp reaches 70 in the first 2 hours. Add ice as an ingredient. Blast chillers, special cooling unit designed to rapidly cool products. 4 approved methods for properly thawing foods. Thaw in the refrigerator the best way. In the microwave must be cooked immediately. As part of the cooking process, under running water that is 70 degrees or less. Never thaw anything at room temperature or in a sink or standing water. This allows bacteria to grow quickly. Never cool in plastic. It sets as an insulator. Ice crystals mean the product has been thawed and refrozen. Cleaning. The process of removing visible soil from a surface. Sanitizing. The process of reducing the number of microorganisms on the surface to safe levels. High temp sanitizing. Using high temperatures to kill microorganisms. Chemical sanitizing. Using chemicals to kill microorganisms. MSDS. Material safety data sheets. Tells what the chemical is used for and hazardous info along with the first aid procedures. OSHA requires. Approved supplier in compliance with all federal, state, and local guidelines. Chemical storage. Keep away from food and locked up if possible. Pesticide storage. Store in original containers. Keep away from food. Pest control. The best pest control is to keep the establishment clean. Keep them out. And eliminate food and water sources. Potable water. Water that is safe to drink and cook with. Non-potable water. Water that is not safe to drink or cook with. Cross connection. Potable and non-potable water coming together. Unacceptable at any time. Hot holding unit. Never to be used to heat or reheat any food. The unit must be preheated at 135 degrees before putting food in. All food should be cooked or reheated to 165 degrees prior to placing in the hot holding unit. Grains of black pepper. Signs of roaches. Scrapes of cloth and large droppings. Signs of mice. Viruses don't multiply in food. They use food as a transfer vehicle. Always washing hands before putting on gloves. Measure the temperature of bulk plastic packages by folding the soft plastic around the thermometer, being careful not to poke a hole in the packaging. Never use home canned food, dented or swollen cans. The risk of botulism is great. Keep everything stored 6 inches off the floor. A master cleaning schedule needs to be included what is to be cleaned, when to clean it, what cleaning equipment to use, who is to clean it. Never offer your health inspector anything to eat or drink. They could view it as bribery. Eggs can be received at an air temperature of 45 degrees. They must be clean and non-broken. Wash hands often. Design a hand washing system for your employees. Never eat or drink or smoke while serving food due to our saliva. Staphylococcus. Hepatitis A and the norovirus are concerned to food establishment. In employment with high-risk illness or in contact with anyone, they must be excluded, sent home. You must contact the health department. Employee must bring doctor note to return. Do not keep anything in your coolers uncovered. It can become cross-contaminated. Anything in the cooler must be covered and labeled with a use-by date. Wash and sanitize your cutting board after each use. A viral foodborne illness is most often caused by poor employee hygiene. If you use a private water source, it must be sampled and tested annually. All catered foods must be labeled. Consume now or refrigerate promptly. Change ice or cold holding every 3 hours to maintain 41 degrees or below. Never clean with a sponge. A nylon brush is best. It is non-absorbent and will not scratch surfaces. Always place thermometers in reach ends or walk-ins in the warmest part of the unit.